The legend that was Adepticon 2025 has been and gone, but during that mighty event, new stories and whispers emerged from the world of Lindworm. Welcome to the Dice Gods. My name is Hydra, and we return to the world of Lindworm and Warcrow from the mighty Corvus Belli. Today we're going to have a look at the recent announcements from the Adepticon seminar and see what's coming up in that. Everything was announced, all the good stuff that was there. But before we do, of course, please consider liking, sharing and subscribing this video so that we know you guys like what we're doing and you want to see more Warcrow. If you really like it, then do consider becoming a channel member or a Patreon, just like the mighty Rink Wolf, Chaos Discordia, and Joe Rogers have, as they continue to support the channel, along with all of the other guys who don't get a shout out because they don't pay me enough. I'm going to say I'm a bit of a tart that way. But right, let's go into it and see what Carlos had to say about the future, or will be. Actually, we're going to start with some announcements. As you may have seen, there has been the Tree Mother mission pack and I've lost the word completely, but PDF that's available from the Warcrow website now. It was designed to work with Syenann, so basically it's narrative around that, missions around that. So go and check that out. That's available for free. PDF download now from warcrow.com, link in the description. With that, you can also get Darak and Una, who are the Syenann characters from the Warcrow Adventures board game. So if you have the board game, if you got that dungeon crawl, if you picked that one up, these guys are now playable in the war game. These cards are available from the warcrow.com website. Again, link below. As you can see, they are pretty tasty and they will fit very nicely into the Syenann action pack and all the good stuff that came in there. So yeah, you can get those for free now, download them and play those characters to your heart's content when your action pack, which you will be pre-ordering in the next few weeks, does turn up. Now, let's move on from the free stuff to the actual seminar itself. First, we start, strangely, with a whole raft of new Syenann stuff. So we have a Syenann captain, as you may have seen with the Northern Tribes and with the Hegemony. They got an officer's box. We're going to be getting that for Syenann. A little warning, of all of the announcements that we got from this event, only one of them actually had a profile. So we're going to be talking about pictures and fluffy stuff and what we think about that more than we're going to be talking about meat, unfortunately, but what can you do? So a Syenann captain, that's going to apparently come in an officer's box, as is the Warden captain. So Syenann appears to have two almost distinct factions. Sectorials, if you're an Infinity player, maybe, I don't know. So we're going to have the Syenann themselves and Wardens. Both of these, I believe, are going to come in the officer's box, and I mean, they're pretty. There's no two ways about it. I will say that with the tactical wood that we're getting with all the Syenann stuff, modelling options are going to be low. You're going to be running them that way, but I don't know, they're pretty. And the drama and the way it ties into the environment, I kind of like that. I'm kind of digging that. Yeah, very, very pretty. Hegemony, that's up next. This is where it gets exciting because, oh my god, look at these guys. We have known that cavalry was coming to Warcrow since the release of the game, since the big book, and from before that, in fact. So to finally see these guys coming out is amazing. Now, these are apparently going to be plastic resins, so that is not Ceocast. That is, like a lot of the stuff has been previously, this is going to be Unicool. That, in my experience, is sharper. It has less preparation work needing to be done than Ceocast does. And is less brittle, so that's a good thing. So it's still just as light, just as crisp, but maybe a little bit less fragile and a little bit easier to work with on the initial cleanup. So this is good. It is welcome to see that. And actually, most of the miniatures you're going to see here, I think, in fact, all of the miniatures you're going to see are all plastic resin. So this is good news. So that's the Sergeant that will lead your Black Angels cavalry, and there's some more Black Angels cavalry to go with it. So I believe these are units of 3, including the Sergeant. And look at them. They are just glorious. Maybe they're only units of 2. No, they appear to be units of 2. But they are beautiful. Absolutely stunning. I mean, the paintwork here is, of course, beautiful. But those miniatures themselves are just spot on. As a Hegemony player, I approve heartily. What I found interesting about the seminar is it's not just cavalry units that we're getting leadership as well. So we're actually getting a mounted hetman to go with that cavalry unit, which is very cool. The fact that you can have that mobile force on the board and not just have some cavalry and everyone else on foot. I think that's going to be really funky, and hopefully she's going to spill out the buffs and a little bit of confidence in that cavalry, just to keep that going a little bit more. Maybe power amplify, who knows. Interesting to see that she still has a pistol, so still going to be doing hetman things of just sniping off the odd wound here and there. But yeah, again, pretty miniature. Then we have the Strategos. Now, again, we don't have any stats for this, but looking at him, I don't think he's doing much in the way of fighting unless he's going to give somebody a vicious paper cut. So from what was indicated, and very cool miniature, from what was indicated by Carlos in the pre-recorded seminar, I guess we're looking at a buffing unit. This is going to be handing out support. So I don't necessarily think you'll be using this actively in your turn, but maybe it's going to be giving out buffs for the no one left behind side of things. I don't know. Maybe. What do you guys think? What do you think the studio is going to do? We know we do have the lore in the lore book about what he does, but what do you actually think gameplay ways we're going to see? Let me know, because I don't think we've seen anything. If I have, and I've missed it, let me know. Northern Tribes. Let's get pokey. And we're off with cavalry again. Again, we have the big boss man, the gaffer, the Dalai Lama for the Wild Riders, the sergeant right there. The drama that they're getting into these miniatures is so cool. Just the motion and the quality and the detail. And again, plastic resin, so that should translate to the finished article as well. And Wild Ridery, pokery goodness. Even the general guy is pretty tough. So again, this looks like a team of two, which is probably going to be enough, to be fair, looking at the size of that mouth. But gorgeous, gorgeous miniatures. And again, beautifully painted. Do not expect them to look the same on the channel, should they arrive. But yeah, fantastic. Beautiful minis. And again, guess who's next? Oh yes, we have a Wrathmane on Warg, which, again, really nice. You can do that whole mounted type thing. Although I will say the fact there's a bucklerman being held by his face there, not so pleased about that. Not so impressed by that. Although I do think actually what's happening in there is that the bucklerman has actually caught the hetman, sorry, the Wrathmane, with his mouth, and he's actually chewing his way up the arm of the Wrathmane there. And if you come back a couple of minutes later, he'll be up to the elbow, probably quite tired, probably quite full. But it's actually, yeah, it's the bucklerman that's winning there, despite how it may look at first blush. But again, gorgeous miniature, nicely animated as well with what it's doing. Real speed on that. And I wouldn't want to be hit by that, even though I probably will end up being so. Next up, Revenant. Now this guy is full of holes. He has arrows in his back. This is not a good sign. I will say that now. This is not a good sign for the future. He's lost a hand. He's got arrows in his back. This is not going to go well. And it's just a massive scars and destruction, and it's just beautiful for that. I absolutely love that. It's a really, really nasty, gnarly miniature. That's awesome. But this one we actually did get stats for. For 40 points, we've got the 2-3 standard movement and the 11 on the charge. 5 wounds, willpower 2 yellow, 2 mid yellow. Run of 3, only can get 1. Elite, of course, to convert those switches. Fearless, immovable, intimidating 1. This is not pleasant. He hits hard, and he can cancel defense, which is unpleasant on the hollow hits there, and gives out vulnerable state like it's going out of fashion. Incredibly unpleasant on the defense, because he also, if you stress him, he can use that to offensive dice, so you're potentially going to do as much damage output as you're going to get back. It's just not nice. He's just not nice. He is incredibly, as his keywords suggest, intimidating. His abilities actually give away more of what he does. The Orc Scars is passive, so ignore 1 from the total damage you're inflicted by the enemy unit, so he's just shrugging damage. And for Full of Destiny, you can add a hit for every for every wound you take. So this guy's got 5 wounds. If you get him down to 1 wound, he's going to be doing you 4 hits when you hit him. And putting out 4 hits automatically. I mean, sure. Why not? He's just unpleasant. And then he also gets +1 red and a hollow hit for attack rolls against large and cavalry units. So he is really your proper cavalry hunter, it has to be said. Your large target hunter. He is going to be all over that and doing massive amounts of damage, and we love him. And with those 3 passive skills, yeah, he's nasty. He's not pleasant at all, and yeah, why wouldn't you? Especially with 1 conquest fight. He does everything and hits everything. It's just not nice. But we love him. He's great. Gorgeous miniature as well. So that's the faction-specific stuff that we've got coming up, and that is going to push us up to the Syenann, with Scions, with Hegemony, and with Northern Tribes. That puts us to 4 active. But next we get a convention-exclusive miniature, because we had forgotten the order we put our slides in. So this is Rakana, who I think is from Adventures, but she's going to be the event-exclusive miniature and a mercenary, starting from the UK Games Expo this year, I think, and then you'll be able to pick her up from there. So if you like Vakana and you want mercenaries in your army, and you don't mind architecture on your miniatures, I did a video recently about Infinity miniatures that drive me nuts, and one of the things that drives me nuts is architecture. But we can remodel that, probably. Anyway, she's beautiful. No idea what she does yet, but I'm sure we shall find out in due time. And she'll be available in the next coming months for an event exclusive. Next up, we got the huge announcement of an incoming battle pack. This is going to drop at Gen Con, supposedly, or thereabouts this year. So that'll be into the autumn that will happen. And it will bring Scions of Yaldabaoth and Feudum to the table in a battle pack. So if you didn't want, like me, I love Feudum, but I didn't really want to get the version that came with Adventures, because that was more of a PvC game type material. I wanted the more plastic resin type material, and apparently that's what this is going to be. So you're going to get those 2 factions. That's going to push us up to 5. So then we only really have Mount Haven Dwarves to come after that. But that battle pack will drop, as I say, in August. All the good stuff coming from that. And we got a picture of course, Feudum looking badass and metally, and slightly French as well. So that'll be amazing. That's going to push us up to 5 active factions, which I think is really going to see the game start to move forward, especially because Scions and Feudum will then get monthly releases after that battle pack drops, just like we're seeing at the moment with Northern Tribes and Hegemony. And Syenann now, because we'll get more releases from them in the coming weeks, or coming months, sorry. So, yeah, I think that the way that Warcrow is going to end 2025 is going to be in stark contrast to the way it started the year. We're going to have a lot more options, we're going to have a lot more viable factions out there. And I think that's a really good thing. I think that's a good thing for the future of the system, and I think it's going to be good for the growth of the system. So tell me, which one did you like? Which of those particular reveals did you get the most happiness from? What did you want to see? What are your speculations on what the new units will do? Are you a Revenant fan just like I am now? And are you looking forward to Feudum and Yaldabaoth getting that re-released towards the end of the year? Let us know in the comments below. Any other thoughts, feelings, or suggestions? Do like, share, subscribe, as I said at the start, and we will see you all again right back here at Lindworm a lot sooner than you'd think. Take care. Thanks for spending time with us. Goodbye.